Hey guys, Tomboy601, and today we're on the Atlantic, and I want to talk about reading the map and reading the room, specifically here on the sea side of Atlantic, because I think a lot of people don't like playing this side of the map, and it's really important if you spawn over here that you play this side, or else you're just gonna end up screwing your team. We can see our wonderful destroyer. We're like, hey, can you come support us? There's beautiful open water. You can spot. You can torp. And he's like, fuck you. No, I'm not helping you. I'm going to B, because that's where destroyers go. We go to B, and I'm like, okay, well, we're gonna try to take up a defensive position here. Get behind this island, and see who comes our way, and then maybe we'll end up riding this out. That's at least the plan here. He then pings us saying, hey, can you come support me? And we deny him right there, because I'm sorry, good sir. You're sailing straight. You're taking some of the best parts of the destroyer, which is its concealment, hiding it behind an island, letting enemies get close to you using those islands. And let's see what happens to our friend in the Fletcher over there. Anyways, we've made ourselves down to sea. You can see we are the only ones who have decided to sort of play this side. We got the mid battleships spotting for us right now, which is exactly what we need. We have two Bismarcks, two prime target Bismarcks that a destroyer could have gone after. But anyways, we have two Bismarcks. We're gonna try to find an angle that we can start to nail these guys at. That rear dip in the in the island over there is probably the better of these two dips to try. You see, we're kind of trying to find it here. I'm not a huge Cleveland player, so I'm trying to figure out the locations where I can start playing. Try to get some fires down on these guys, because of course Cleveland, pretty strong ship, all about setting those fires, and this is one of those matches that was taken during the window of me trying to work through the havocs, getting my fires all set, because that havoc really ended up causing me some ire last week. Anyways, we end up running into we end up border humping over here, trying to get into a position that we can fire. We finally found what looks like somewhat of a position. We can at least start nailing this second Bismarck. We get a double fire to lead off on him. He instantly puts it out, which means if we can get another fire to proc, it will be a perma-fire. That's exactly what we want to do, because of course, perma-fires, for those of you who haven't been around, what happens is you have that damage con, you use that damage con is on a reload for 45 seconds to a minute. During that time, you can't put out any fires. They are permanent fires. You can see we already got one fire there. We are running the Cleveland, I should say Commander Norman Scott, typical fire build, and we're just going to kind of continue to pepper him over here. We can see our two battleship teammates who were at B, and one of those battleship teammates did go down. But one thing that we've done over here, which has been surprisingly important, is we have started to lure these Bismarcks towards us, and we've made it so that they are not capturing it. They're getting that front Bismarck is getting peppered enough that he hasn't had much effect on that sea capture, and that rear Bismarck, we've been peppering him, so they haven't really made progress in capping C. The enemies are about to cap B, but at this point we can see, okay, we know what's going on here. Those Bismarcks are definitely going to come in here. What our plan is here is try to get close so that we can get good pen on their broadsides, because of course as they come around this corner, they can't take this corner at a very sharp angle, right? Battleships take a little bit of time to turn, and a lot of times a lot of battleship captains don't really apex correctly, so they don't really start that turn until they're after and around the corner. Basically what I'm saying is, usually when a ship comes around a corner like this, they're going to come out flat broadside. When they come out flat broadside, well, AP at short range, even from small cruiser caliber guns, can absolutely wreck shop, and that is the plan here. First Bismarck goes down. We get a little bit of chunks out of him, but there's a second Bismarck who definitely means business, and thankfully we have another battleship kind of in front of us now who's going to take the attention away from that Bismarck. So we can go ahead, start to engage Bismarck, but surprise, surprise, someone else comes in because they want to get their torpedoes off. Benham comes around the corner, and well, that's kind of our responsibility. Destroyers, we're going to go ahead, go after them with extreme ire. Of course, he is going to get all of those shots off on that battleship, but we will happily take out what is their last destroyer, knock him out of the game. Enemy Bismarck not doing too well. We kind of aim too low for those HE shells to do any pen, so we aim up into the superstructure, but he goes down. Beautiful. He's taken care of, and this side of the map is all clear. We're somewhat tied up on ships. They have the advantage. We have the advantage in ships. We're up by 1. They have the advantage in points. They're up 1 point, but one of them is now totally undefended. And as we can see, the remaining ships have all kind of, or at least the remaining enemy ships have kind of all consolidated in that B area. Some of them just behind B, but because they didn't end up extending out, playing to their furthest extent on their sides, we're gonna now have the advantage. This is one of the things you need to think about, especially when you play on the edges of the map, that I think a lot of people aren't taking into account is you are twice as susceptible to damage, twice as susceptible to a broadside when you play that middle part of the map, because of course, if you think about it, if you play on the extremities of the map, you are always going to have the map border on one side of you. No one can get outside of that map border, so you are going to be safe on that map border. So you don't really need to worry about that there. You only have to worry really about the broadsides coming in from one angle. So that's one of the things that you always kind of have to keep in count when you try to play the center positions, is think about where you can go ahead and prevent that angle from being taken on you. Usually you're going to do that by using islands. As we can see, the Sinop not using islands. I think, he does have the island cover off to his one side, but because of our positioning, we are now able to go ahead and engage him. Of course, we are also now capping C, which is nice. We also see Nelson kind of leading the charge out there. We can see our teammates are doing a pretty good job of doing him. I am worried, though, because I see he has a fire on him, and Nelson's, they tend to be able to print a whole new ship, which is always worrying. Sinop hasn't put out any of the fires, so part of me thinks he's run out of his limited damage cons for the match. So we're going to go ahead, let him continue fire, and instead concentrate our fire over on this pristine Colorado. We can still see one Sinop's. All of the fire spaces on Sinop are taken out. Otago looking like he's pretty safe. So Colorado, unfortunately, going to be our target. None of these guys have fired us while we're taking C, which is nice. We're not getting reset. Two things have just happened. One, we've totally eliminated the majority of their ships, and now we are increasing our lead because we have the advantage on the points. Get the fire on the Colorado. We see Otago also playing the mid. You see these guys are both now kind of trapped and forced into mid. We're going to continue sailing around while we can, see if we can just get a couple more rounds on target. But guys, the big lesson I had, or the big reason I chose to show this match, was just as a reminder to try and play and win your side, because we would not be able to get these shots. I don't think we would be winning this match if we had chosen just to kind of float out into the middle. And I know the right-hand side of Atlantic or the sea side of Atlantic isn't the fun bit to play, right? It is definitely a wonky area. There isn't much cover. You have to kind of stretch and play in weird positions. But it's still very important that you deploy forces, and if you are on that side, that you play that side, just so that there isn't a way for the enemies to easily get around and kind of flank off. Because you could see in the beginning of this match, those Bismarcks kind of were uncontested until they came around the island and started trying to hunt me. But that's kind of where we ended up. Colorado, now the last one standing on his team, him sailing away. We're just going to stick with the HE. One, because we're still trying to get fires, and two, he's not broadside, and Colorado still has decent enough health where we're going to be more profitable shooting at him with HE. We flip over to the AP because he's now nice and broadside now. American AP, even small caliber, is still a very dangerous thing. You can see we take a massive chunk out of him there. And I think we're going to end up taking him here. Yep, there we go. He goes down, and that ends the game. So, guys, if you liked the video, go ahead, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. See ya.